I'm nothing but a low life, thinking about my own life. I'm trying to fight the good old fight, but after it all, I'm still just a low life. The lyrics from Ex-Ambassadors. I want to welcome you to or back to the channel, Crystal Clear. Here on these episodes, we talk about all things spiritual. We get caught up with the grief, the struggle, the hustle, the bustle, the heartache, the pain that we often forget that that's exactly why we came. It's in these challenges that our growth, our soul extension is happening. And today, I want to talk about the spiritual side of addiction. Today, I really want to validate, honor those who are in the war field, the trenches, whether they have navigated, are trying to navigate, are trying to find support in their journey, to tell you, I see you, I hear you, and I believe in you. I have had my own struggle with addictions. Today's stories are very close to home, but they're very intimate with me and the Creator as they are for you. And that's what I really hope to bring forward to just to help anybody that may be in their own, amongst their own journey, if you will. But I want to remind you, it has nothing to do with the actual addiction, if you will. An addiction can be a substance, it can be a behavior, it's essentially where we give our energy, our precious energy and attention to, where we become codependent and it becomes our own ball and chain. So regardless of what addiction you may be going up against, recognize it is a spiritual warfare, but you're not alone. And today, I hope to kind of tell my story, one, not to relate, but to also recognize, like in Ex-Ambassadors, that song lyric I was just saying, he's speaking about addiction. Well, I never had an addiction to alcohol. Mine was Adderall. It doesn't matter. It was a resonance that I often found myself in when I was going through my own healing. And however you go about your healing is going to be very unique. Regardless, the withdrawals are horrific. And it is a matter of finding equilibrium, recalibrating. The pain is real, is what I'm trying to say. But it is temporary. Let me get that out first and foremost. So for myself, I tried to cold turkey the Adderall. I've also briefly spoke about my addiction to nicotine. But in this scenario, it was about the Adderall and what Adderall does and how it gives you cognitive haze. It wipes you energetically. I mean, genuinely, to wash my own hair, to get out of bed was a true struggle for a long time, guys. The depression, because of the way your dopamine, your whole neurochemistry is screwed up. That's why you become dependent. You have your nervous system that's learning to recalibrate, and there's just that sheer energetic weight of it all from your daily life, feeling like a low life because you don't feel like you have the power, and all you can do is take it one day at a time. So when I had tried to quit cold turkey, it only lasted for about 2 or 3 days because I still had to play mom. I still had to work. I still had adult responsibilities. And that guilt and shame would only add to my feeling of inadequacy and incapability, if you will. Mostly trying to be a role model for my son. I want to also say this too, guys. This is the first video I've actually really am speaking to, like, my dependency on Adderall. So may this be liberating for myself too, as well. So I would have I'm just going to say, I had many supernatural experiences. I had a supernatural experience that would lead me to start discussing my codependency on Adderall, if you will, because when I had gone to my doctor, he made me feel stupid. Most of his patients can just take the weekend off the Adderall if they want to. Which made me feel even like I didn't know how to say, well, I'm addicted to it and I don't know how to function without it. But because of my supernatural experience, I was speaking to a soul brother who I'll never forget. He's like, well, of course he won't. Your doctor will not help you get off of it because you're his client. He's your drug dealer. And that hit home. So with the help of my soul brother, my soul tribe, I was able to come across a holistic doctor that helped pave out a plan that I could take to my own doctor with my own insurance and say, hey, this is what I want to do. This is a plan, because I knew at this point it was what was necessary. I had already reached a state of consciousness that this was the path. And so for myself personally, it was a 6-month wean. But for me also, when I did end up pulling off the Band-Aid, when I did finally get off the Adderall 100%, because the dose I was on when I came off was so small I couldn't feel it anyway. And the depression was starting to take rolls, the energy. It felt similar as if I had gone cold turkey. The difference here, and the reason I never went back, was that I had just spent 6 months slowly peeling that Band-Aid off. There was no way I was going to go back after making it this far. That's my story. Your story may be very different. You may very well just be cold turkeying it. What I'm trying to get at, again, is that energetic resonance that is similar to many of us, regardless of the substance and how it affects us. The nervous system, the wakeless nights, the tossing, the turning, everything. So what I'm trying to say is that this is the intimate side of the story. Many people, I know for myself personally, the biggest question is, will I ever be the same? Will I ever be the same? And I'm going to be honest, guys. I don't know. I personally, I'm not sure if I know what normal is, because for close to a decade, I used Adderall to get out of bed. I functioned off 4 hours of sleep on a regular basis and had a crutch to do superhuman things. And to this day, if I can get 9 hours of sleep, I'm doing really good. I like my sleep. If I get less than 8, I'm not really functional. But that's a lot better than where I started, which was sleeping all day and all night for the first week. And then you would start going into the major withdrawals of being uncomfortable, insomnia at its worst. I struggled with RLS, the cognitive haze. But above all else, there's this part of you, for me, that I would always find myself beating myself up. Every morning, hearing my son get up. Oh my goodness. I apologize. This is such a very emotional topic. Because I get it. That's what I guess I'm trying to say. And the hope I hope to bring. But I remember every morning hearing those lyrics. I'm just a low life. I'm just a low life. Like, I couldn't get out of bed. And I remember days when it was coming down to cleaning my house. For a woman that could deep clean, and I still love my deep clean. I know how I like my house. Just because I'm not on Adderall doesn't mean I don't like that. Doing it to clean my room ended up being an all-day endeavor. I would move for 5 minutes and have to sit for 15 to 20 minutes. I was lucky to get out and do a couple hours of work. It really messed with me, but in the mornings was the hardest because I would see my son get up, and normally we had a routine for so long. I would be able to get up, I'd get my morning workout in, and then I'd wake my own son up and I would get him breakfast, and I would see him out the door to school. And for the first time, I couldn't do that. And for many of us that are overcoming addiction, our normal ways of however it's been disrupted. What I'm trying to get at is that guilt, that shame that overcomes us. This is where I hope to give you hope and share some of my experiences, because I know it's hard. One morning, amongst my need to get out of bed and beating myself up and just, you're so damn lazy and pull your shit together and you can do this. Just get out of bed. I want to put a side note to you guys. Like, if everybody, like, I don't know many other substances, and I know they affect us all different, but if you're on the Adderall journey, don't allow anybody. I had a lot of people that came to me and they're like, because yes, keep moving, stay active. It helps your dopamine. You're already fit. Don't stop doing this. Da, 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 da. Again, I couldn't even wash my hair. When I could go for a walk, I was doing really good that day. So there was one morning, again, I'm beating myself up, and I hear amongst my own voice, get out of bed, you're so lazy, pull your shit together. Nothing but a low life. I heard, be still and know I'm God. And it was beautiful because it was in that in-between of lucid dream / consciousness / haze, right? But it came in pretty strong. And again, I was never big on scripture, guys, but based on my own supernatural experiences and those who have showed up in my spiritual journey, Jesus and Archangel Michael, Mary Magdalene, just so it turns out that spirituality has turned very, very much towards the Christianity. I guess I would consider myself a spiritual Christian, if you will. It's neither here nor there, but be still and know I'm God. For sakes of this podcast, I looked it up, and it's Psalms 46:10, which is the invitation to drop out of 3D panic and into our sovereign surrender. But for me, it felt very profound because I was feeling pretty bad about myself. And it just so happened to be around Thanksgiving I think it was like on the actual date I heard that. Still feeling the same way one morning, beating myself up again, fighting a depression, fighting it all. Guys, you just hold on with everything you have, and you have to have this faith that it's gonna be okay. There's this drive to overcome it. I don't know, for me, maybe it was my supernatural experiences, but one morning, yet again, months later, same scenario, beating myself up, feeling like a lowlife, a POS. I heard again, so clear in my head, be still and know I am God. And I was talking to my mom about this, and she's one of my true ride or die soulmates. Her and my son, they saw me through these withdrawals, and were so supportive every inch of the way. So call upon your support team, guys. We need them. And if you are watching this because you know somebody that's going through it, believing in them is maybe one of the biggest flexes you can do for them. And just be patient with them as they're doing the work. And if they relapse, please understand there's much more of a spiritual battle happening on the backgrounds of that too. It's so much more than just willpower. It is coming into our essence. But as I was talking to my mom the second time about this, telling her this morning I swear God came in, he said, be still and know I'm God. And she kind of sat there and she took a step back and she goes, Crystal, he's told you that twice. And because I have a heavy cognitive haze and I can't even think straight, if anybody's gone through this, you understand, like you're slow, you're sluggish, you can't put the dots together. I was like, no, what are you talking about? No, I don't think so. But then she was able to bring up the instance where I spoke to my uncle about it. And in that moment, it hit me to the soul. Wow, you're right. It's not the first time, but it felt just as relevant as the first time, if not even more, triple compound to the nth power, because I hadn't remembered, but God was trying to tell me the divine, the creator, the spark that's within me was telling me, give it to me. I know. I know your private battles. I know your effort. I know the trenches. I know the fog. I know your moments of despair and when you feel defeated. Not once in this journey have you ever been alone. And I'm telling you guys, you have not been alone in this journey. Not once. Between your guides, your loves, your ancestors, your angels, and above all else, that light, the essence that you are a part of, that lives inside of you, knows what you're going through. And that divine power, that God, be still and know that I am God, is asking you to give yourself some grace. That this is the challenge that you came here to overcome, to discover how truly powerful you are. And though it may not be easy, the blessings are promised to those who do the work. Which leads me to my last song, because songs do hold a resonance. It is a Christian song, but it goes in perfect alignment to that of Be Still and Know That I Am God, in this essence, and how it correlated with me and my story. And that is God Only Knows, from King and Country. I'll link that as well in the show description notes, because it does talk about the intimacy that nobody in this journey, though we all understand an energetic resonance, there's a true intimacy that comes between you and the Creator. And everything that you have ever come across, you're not alone. You are so supported. You are so loved. Hold strong. That's exactly what's happening. You are discovering the alchemy of the Creator that you are within. The human journey, the pain, the suffering, all of it, it is real, but it's all temporary too. I want to leave you with that. I want to know, did this resonate with you? Let me know by making a comment, sharing with anybody that might need it. I invite you to support the channel by rating and reviewing on Apple and Spotify. Make sure you hit subscribe if you're on YouTube, and make sure you follow so you don't miss another episode. I want to thank you for allowing me to share a bit of that intimate story. I know I'm not alone with others that undergo their own special resonance frequency of addiction that comes in many, many different forms. I want you to know that I believe in you. I think you're doing amazing. And sending you love, light, and healing. Until next time, namaste.